Jess. Opening in black.
Let's try it again.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Count of three.
1, 2, 3.
Cut to interior JJ's room night. The room is small but tidy. Light blue wallpaper covers the walls, buckling in spots. A poster of Whitney Houston is hung over the bed, a small cross nearby. Race cars decorate a fading bedspread, neatly made. The pillow is pink. The room is clearly in gender confusion. JJ's bedroom should give the impression that her parents clearly want JJ to be a boy, but that is not exactly who they are becoming. Jessica, 8, white, hip-hop style with messy blonde hair, steps away from the frame. She's just pressed record on a VHS-style camera. Behind her, JJ, 8, African-American, androgynous boy, hits play on a beat-up pink boombox. The boombox has a few buttons that have popped off or cracked. As a distinctive bass line of a song similar to New Shoes' I Can't Wait begins to play, both girls hurry into position using hairbrushes for microphones. They sing along to the song, clowning around with rough, improvised choreography.
I can't wait. Tell me what it's all about. You got something that I can't live without. Happiness, it is so hard to find. Hey baby, tell me what is on your mind, 'cause I can't wait. Call me on the telephone, I can't wait till we're all alone. I can't wait.
Cut to interior high-end restaurant kitchen night. Super, 25 years later. Clanging pans are stacked precariously on a stainless steel dish station platform, caked with the remnants of a busy night in the dining room. The dishwasher opens, filling the screen with steam before closing, the sound of it running. Title, Jess. A kitchen worker pulls a steaming rack of now clean dishes out of the washer and then pushes a rack of dirties in. Cut to interior high-end restaurant kitchen. A fryer empties hot, scalding grease into a large metal pot. Exterior parking lot. As seen from behind, the kitchen worker carries the pot of hot grease. She wears a protective rubber bib and protective arm-length rubber gloves. The hot grease sloshes around dangerously. Some spills, sizzling as it hits the ground. Shit. With some effort, she lifts it into the grease dumpster. Oops. She stumbles backward and nearly spills it on herself. Barely able to right herself, she empties the steaming contents. This is Jessica Alvarez, 30s. A neck tattoo, 3 red diamonds can be seen peeking out of the collar of her uniform. Her hair in cornrows is tied into a bun under her baseball cap. Taking a breather, she sets down the still steaming pot. Phew, this shit is dangerous. Interior high-end restaurant manager's office. The manager, Richard, mid-40s, thinning hair and a little thick around the middle, fills out forms for food and supplies.
Got a minute?
Jessica hands Richard a sheet of paper. The top of the page reads, Prall Community Supervision Report. Without looking up, Richard grabs the page, mindlessly scribbles a signature at the bottom, and returns the page along with an envelope holding cash. Jessica thumbs through the bills, mostly ones and a couple of fives, before stuffing the envelope into her pocket.
I'm headed out soon. Breakfast prepped?
Breakfast prepped.
Make sure you lock the walk-in before you leave. We had some things walk out last night.
Got it.
Interior high-end restaurant kitchen later. Ding! A grease-smeared touchscreen flickers, dying. It reads, Shift 2 has ended. Jessica cradles a plastic bag containing styrofoam to-go containers in her arms. With her back, she pushes the metal door open, cha-chink, revealing the rising sun. Jessica disappears into the dawn. Interior inner-city bus, early morning. The sounds of the bus, pneumatic brakes squeaking, the sniffling and sneezing of the various passengers, the mechanical opening, closing of doors, and the hum of the diesel engine create a soothing backdrop. As the bus makes its way past liquor stores, check cashing establishments, a strip club, and gold-buying storefronts, Jessica pulls her hoodie up around her head, leans against the window, and closes her eyes. It's been a long night. Shh! The sound of the bus coming to a stop. Jessica wakes up with a start. Exterior city street, early morning. Jessica again takes cover under her hoodie, securing it around her head and hunching over her bag of styrofoam boxes as she hops off the bottom step of the bus. She walks down a city sidewalk, past buildings old and new, several under renovation, a clear sign of a neighborhood under the knife of a gentrifying facelift. She passes an array of posters glued to construction barriers advertising various pop stars, similar to Beyoncé or J-Lo. The following moment is reminiscent of Jean-Paul Belmondo, emulating Humphrey Bogart in Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless. The poster portrays a female pop star in mid-motion, hair flying to the side, with a look of ecstasy on her face. Jessica stands, looking up at the poster, studying it. Earbuds in, she scrolls through songs on her old cell phone, touchscreen cracked, glittery case. Got it. She touches the play arrow, dance music. Turning around dramatically with a smile on her face, she mimics the stance of the poster's pop star. As the sun begins to illuminate this gray, early morning world, Jessica begins to dance down the sidewalk. She passes an older homeless man hunkered down in the doorway of a shuttered, derelict shop.
You go, girl!
Jessica continues a well-rehearsed routine. At an intersection, a police car cruises into view. It flashes its lights, a warning. Jessica pulls her hoodie down further. Securing her to-go containers, she slips through the pulled-back corner of a chain-link fence. Exterior trailer park, early morning. As she approaches her trailer through an overgrown vacant lot, dogs bark. Interior trailer, early morning. Holding a dump truck, little Chico, 3 or 4 years old, wearing only a diaper, looks up as he hears the dogs barking. He's mixed race, black and white, takes after his father with darker complexion and afro, but with his mother's green eyes. Really beautiful child.
Mama, 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 mama.
Hand outstretched, he reaches for the window ledge and presses his nose, on which a pair of Coke bottle-thick glasses sit, up to the window to look out, squinting. Clearly he is visually impaired. Exterior trailer, early morning. Looking up, Jessica notices her son in the window. She smiles, picking up her pace. At the base of the steps to her trailer, she trips, but catches herself on the railing. A large, thick orange electrical cord snakes from the side of her trailer where it is plugged into the neighbor's trailer. Odd. In front of the neighbor's trailer is a worn and dirty work truck with a Reynolds masonry and brick decal on the side. Interior trailer, early morning. Her son springs up and tightly hugs her leg as she enters.
Mama, 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 mama.
She picks him up and holds him in her arms.
Oof, you're a big boy.
Biggest.
With a twirl, she plops into a chair with her son on her lap and kisses him on the head.
Power go out?
Whoa!
Did the power go out?
Big Mama, 60s, morbidly obese, steps out of her bedroom wearing a muumuu-like pullover and worn slippers. She pulls an ever-present oxygen tank behind her. It's tethered via plastic tubes to her nose. She's surprisingly nimble with it.
No, I got a thing for orange power cord just snaking all around my home. Livens up the place. What you got in the bag?
Should be half a leftover steak in there. Smart ass. Some shrimp, maybe twice baked or two.
Big Mama eyes the to-go container longingly.
God dang it.
She glances over to the oatmeal cooking on the stove.
I hate to say it, but you should take that over to Brett.
Big Mama goes to the stove to stir the oatmeal.
Tell him thank you.
Jessica eyes the pot of oatmeal.
That for us?
Unless you got another bag hidden up your sleeve, it is. Be nice to him when you see him.
Be nice. Sometimes I think you don't pay that bill on purpose.
You think I'm that way? Never mind. Don't answer that.
Don't go, mama.
Big Mama grabs a shrimp from the container. Jessica catches her mother with a shrimp in her mouth.
What? You won't notice just one little shrimp missing?
What? Don't worry, sweetheart. I'll be right back. We got a clean plate?
Big Mama grabs the single plate left in the cabinet and gives it a look. Not clean. She grabs a dirty cloth and gives it a quick wipe before handing it over. Exterior Reynolds trailer, early morning. Jessica knocks on the door to Brett Reynolds' trailer. The curtain at the side window is pulled back for a second.
Hold up a second.
After a moment, the door opens as Brett, 47, broad-shouldered, pulls a flannel shirt over hairy shoulders and a white muscle shirt. One can imagine a fit, strong man in his youth, his body now heavier with the weight of life and neglected health.
Morning, Brett.
He pauses and gives the messy interior of his home a glance, unsure of whether to let her in or not.
I'm sorry, but I wasn't expecting company.
Mama says you've done us a good turn.
She motions her head in the direction of the snaking extension cord.
No big deal. Happy to do it.
Brett spots the foil-covered plate in her hand.
You bake?
She hands him the plate.
We figured you might need some breakfast.
I haven't had any yet. Just got the coffee on.
He peeks underneath.
Oh my, shrimp, a half steak, and that looks like a twice-baked potato. You all know how to feed a guy.
Mama does.
Do you want to come in and eat this with me? The place is a mess, but I could dig up another plate, I imagine.
Thanks, Brett. That's nice of you, but I just finished my shift.
Of course, of course. Maybe another time?
His fumbling makes her smile.
Sure, some other time.
The two share an awkward beat of silence.
That'd be great. You sure you don't want some of this? It's pretty fair helping.
Night, Brett.
Good night.
With her back to him, she smiles to herself and shakes her head. Grinning, Brett re-enters his trailer. Exterior trailer park, morning. Jessica approaches her front door. Newly taped to the door is a generic eviction notice. Dollars owed, rent/back rent is handwritten on the form letter that looks like it was printed on a cheap inkjet printer. As she reads the notice, the door to the trailer next to hers, opposite Brett's, opens with a squeak. The facade and yard of this trailer are tidy with a neatly painted fence. A sign on the door reads, "This is God's house. Kindly remove your shoes." Her landlord, Joseph Rudlin, 50, steps out. Slightly balding with neatly combed hair, he wears glasses and a golf shirt tucked into belted slacks.
Hey, Jess.
Hey, 1 second.
Jessica rushes up the steps to their trailer and, opening the door, quickly scoops up little Chico, who has been waiting for her on the other side. With her son on her hip now, and with more confidence, she approaches Joseph.
Need something?
Next step is a call to the sheriff's office.
At the sound of his voice, little Chico buries his face against his mother's neck.
I can give you half of what we owe tomorrow.
He eyes her a moment.
Now, Jess, you know I try to be fair, but you're not living in half a house. Now, are you?
I'll have the rest soon.
Come over tomorrow. Bring what you got.
Slam. His screen door closes as he re-enters his trailer. As Jessica returns to her trailer, she kisses her son on the head. Entering the trailer, she tears down the eviction notice. Interior trailer, morning.
What'd he want?
The usual.
She tosses the crumpled up eviction notice at her mother before flopping into a chair with her son.
You're like a nice chunk of garlic round your mama's neck when that old vampire comes around. You know that, don't you?
Little Chico snuggles in close to his mother as she begins to snore softly.
Mama? Mama?
He squishes his mother's face, but she's out like a light. She doesn't respond.
Come on, Jess. Grammy has to watch her soap soon. You're in the best chair of the house. Come on now. Get to your room. Wakey, wakey. Shake and bakey.
Big Mama hits her in the face with a pillow.
Stop it! Okay.
Interior bedroom day. Little Chico lies next to his sleeping mother, his face pressed into a notebook where he is drawing and coloring an owl well outside of the lines. On the page opposite Little Chico's drawing are lyrics. Jessica, waking, watches Little Chico for a moment.
Come here.
Jessica draws him close and gives him a hug. She catches a whiff of something. She gives his hair another sniff or two. Interior bathroom, day. Jessica takes a shower with her son, who plays with a toy bus in the shower. More of her tattoos are revealed, among them the words Vida and Loca on the backs of her thighs, 2 tiny baby footprints on her side with Little Chico written above them, and How Sweet the Sound, with musical notes intertwined with the letters, covers her ribs on the opposite side. She sings along with him as she rinses him off. They sing a song they've made up together.
1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Getting clean is mighty fine. 4 time, 5 time, 6 time. Having fun is not a crime. 7 time, 8 time, 9 time. Summertime.
Interior ophthalmologist office, day. Jessica sits in the waiting room filling out paperwork on a clipboard using the chain-attached pen. Behind her on the glass and in reverse lettering so it can be read from the outside is Dr. Lewin, licensed ophthalmologist, most major insurance, Medicare Part B, Medicaid accepted. On the chair next to her is an open notebook with Medicaid paperwork spread across it that she references as she writes. The notebook is the one little Chico was coloring in earlier. Interior ophthalmologist's office, bright light shining into an eye.
Don't close your eyes. I know it's hard to do. Okay, hold on. Such a good boy. So brave.
Switch to computer screen, corneal and retinal topography exam. The doctor is seated on a swivel stool reading a map of the eye.
Good job, little buddy. All done.
Little Chico squirms behind the eye machine. Jessica pulls him away and sets him in her lap. The doctor pushes away from the computer and turns to Jessica.
We can get him on the donor list for new corneas. But first, we'll need to confirm your insurance to make sure this procedure will be covered.
Exterior office building day. Jessica guides little Chico through the office complex's front door. Exterior office building parking lot day. Brett sits waiting in his idling pickup truck. Exterior office building day. Jessica waves at him. Exterior office building parking lot day. Smiling, Brett waves back and begins to drive in her direction. Exterior trailer park day. Brett pulls up in front of his trailer. Little Chico munches on a few fries as Jessica closes up the fast food bags. Brett puts the truck in park. Little Chico moans while reaching toward the bag.
You can have more when we get inside, baby. We really appreciate the lift. That was nice of you.
She holds up the bags.
And the lunch, too. Thank you.
No problem at all. Glad I could help.
Jessica opens the truck door, gathers her things, and hops out. She turns to get little Chico out of the truck.
Hey,
Brett blushes.
maybe I could take you out this weekend. There's a new Italian spot that I heard is real good. If you like that. Italian, I mean.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Sounds nice.
She reaches for little Chico and grabs him out of the front seat before closing the door and heading home. Brett watches them for a moment, then puts the truck in drive and changes the radio from contemporary pop to country with the push of a button as he pulls out of the trailer park. Interior trailer day. Little Chico sits wrapped in a blanket with a cup of goldfish in front of him. He has his nose buried in a children's book. Jessica, in rush, gets ready for work.
Well, that was nice of him.
Jessica finds one shoe. Where's the other?
Yeah, it was, but I don't know. I may back out.
Ah, there's her other shoe.
What's the matter? It's not good enough for you?
She puts them
I
on.
didn't say that.
Not sexy or flashy enough?
Jessica grabs her hoodie.
Mom, stop. It's not that. It's just...
What?
I just don't want to give him the wrong impression, is all.
Big Mama lets out an exasperated breath. Yeah, right.
You need to get your head on straight. It's just dinner. Order dessert and bring home leftovers.
Mama, I'm leaving. I'm already late for work.
I'm coming. Just go on ahead. I'm gonna be a minute. What do you think about it,
The
Jess?
sound of the toilet flushing.
Kiss goodbye.
She bends down and hugs her son before rushing out the front door. Exterior trailer, day. Glancing toward Joseph's trailer, she hurries past as his front door opens. She's too quick. Interior, high-end restaurant, dish station. Jessica throws her apron over her head and ties it behind her. Richard walks past Jessica.
You're late.
Turning to the dish station, Jessica is confronted by a large bus tub filled to the brim with dirty dishes. Interior, high-end restaurant manager's office, later. Although a chair is available, Jessica stands in the manager's office.
We all have personal issues. You seem to have more than most. Here's your share of the kitchen's tips for the night.
He hands her an envelope.
It's empty.
Seems about right to me.
You can't take my tips. I really need...
If you're late again, you're fired, and I'll report you to your parole officer.
An awkward beat.
We good?
She gets it. She's being shaken down and there's nothing she can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we good.
God damn it.
Anything else?
He glances dismissively at Jessica and returns to his work. Exterior high-end restaurant, kitchen entrance. She slaps her hand against the wall.
Fuck!
Interior bus, day. Sitting in her seat, earbuds in, Jessica rests her head against the window, taking in the city scene. As they pass a strip club, her eyes make note of it. A lone truck is parked in front. Turning away, she pulls up her hoodie around her and, drawing herself in close, sinks deeper into her seat. Interior trailer, evening. Big Mama peeks through the broken blinds.
Oh dear, he's on his way. Hurry now.
She gives the air a big spray of Febreze.
I'm so happy you changed that hard head of yours.
Exterior trailer, evening. Through the blinds, Brett can be seen locking up his trailer, holding a bouquet of flowers.
Quit pressuring me.
Looking at his reflection in the door's window, he slicks back his hair. Interior trailer, evening. Jessica rushes past little Chico, who sits on the floor in front of a puzzle. He feels the pieces while trying to keep up with his mother, who rushes by, putting on earrings, straightening her blouse, etc.
Mama?
I'll be home late, but don't worry. Big Mama's taking care of you.
Still holding the Febreze in her hand, Big Mama cackles.
Ain't that the truth? You and me gonna have a movie night with buttered popcorn and the whole bit.
Big Mama turns to Jessica. She straightens Jessica's blouse.
Now, Jess, this is important.
Pasta is important.
Be serious for a second. He can help us.
Jessica sighs, irritated that her mother is always hustling.
Don't with me. I know you're smarter than that. Hold still 1 minute. Let me have a look at you.
Knock at the door.
Too late.
Big Mama goes to the door, blocking Jessica out.
I've got it. Now you behave yourself and don't mess this up. You hear me?
Hush.
Big Mama opens the door.
Brad, so happy to see you. Don't you look handsome?
You look mighty nice yourself, Mrs. Alvarez.
Oh, aren't you a charmer? Are these for Jessica?
Brett hands her the flowers.
They are.
My.
Both, actually.
Aren't you the devil?
It's no big deal.
Going all this trouble just for little old me.
Really. It was no problem. They were a clearance at Tillman's.
Let's just keep that to ourselves, shall we? Come in. Let me get these in some water.
Interior trailer evening. Brett walks through, following Big Mama, who's holding the flowers in front of her, and sees Jessica. Cheeks on fire, the sight of her makes him flush.
Hi, Jess. You look great.
Thank you. You do too.
You think so?
Ready?
Exterior trailer evening. As they exit, Big Mama throws Jessica a sly smile. With her back to Brett, she rolls her eyes at her mother. Little Chico cries out.
Mama, don't go! Don't leave me!
Little Chico begins to wail.
Is he okay?
You'll be fine.
The quicker we go, the better.
Big Mama closes the door behind her, partially silencing little Chico.
Don't stay out too late now, you hear?
We'll be home at a reasonable time, won't we, Brett?
He opens the door to his company truck for Jessica.
She's in good hands, Mrs. Alvarez.
Brett closed the passenger side truck door.
Thank you, Brett.
You sure Chico is going to be okay?
Big Mama yells from the door.
He'll be fine. Now get out of here.
Interior Pizza Shack, evening. Jessica glances around at the Pizza Hut-like interior. A couple of kids play video games. A couple or two dig into their pizzas. Jessica and Brett may be the most dressed up people there.
I do love Italian.
Me too. Can I tell you a secret?
Sure, okay.
Nobody knows this, but the spaghetti here is outstanding.
You picked good.
She taps him on the hand. A bored and bemused teenage server appears, holding laminated menus under her arm and 2 plastic cups of water in her hands.
Welcome to Pizza Shack, home of all-you-can-eat cheesy breadsticks. Can I get you something to drink besides water?
Wine?
Sure.
Maybe bread?
That'd be good.
Oh, okay, hold on a second. Chris, do we have red wine?
The manager in the kitchen gives her a thumbs up.
In the back of the cooler.
The server returns her attention to the table.
2 red wines coming up.
Brett calls after her.
All the and the breadsticks.
Oh, the breadsticks, of course.
They sit in awkward silence for a beat or two. Brett smiles to himself and looks at Jessica before shyly looking at his lap.
This is nice.
It's sweet. Jessica can't help but smile. Reaching out, she sets her hand on his.
Yes. Yes, Miss.
Brett smiles. Interior Brett's truck, night. The sound of crunching gravel as Brett's truck comes to a halt. He puts the truck in park and smiles at Jessica, who smiles back a little awkwardly. Opening his door, he runs around the truck to open hers. Exterior trailer, night.
Thank you, Brett. I had a great time.
Me too. Let me walk you to your door.
All 20 feet.
Unsure of how to respond, Brett looks down at his shoes. Concerned that she may have hurt his feelings, she reaches out to him.
That'd be nice of you.
Beaming, he takes her arm in his and walks her to her front door. Jessica returns his smile, happier than she thought she'd be.
Thank you, Jessica. It's been a while since I've gone on a date.
It's okay. It's been a while for me, too.
He interlaces his fingers in hers. Both are a bit smitten. They continue up the steps, stepping over the extension cord.
I know you guys have been in a bind lately. Big Mama said you're working on it.
Trying.
I'd like to help you out. I want to help you out.
Brett, it's no big deal. I'll get caught up. It's just taking a little time.
I've got a couple of jobs. I'm finishing up soon. Should bring in a little extra?
Jessica watches him carefully. Taken aback by his kindness, she can't help but wonder if he has an angle.
I like the idea of taking care of you, Jess. It's no trouble.
The two share a long glance. Reaching in, Jessica brings her hands to his cheeks. Brett's chest visibly rises and falls with his breath. Slowly, she brings her face to his and kisses him. Losing his balance, he leans just a bit too far forward. He catches his foot on the cord as he steps. They both nearly fall with his weight.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
His clumsiness makes them both laugh.
Can I take you out again soon?
Would you like that?
Brett smiles at the prospect of another date.
Very much.
Me too.
He watches her as she goes to her front door. As Jessica unlocks her door, she glances at Joseph's trailer. A subtle move of the curtain. Nosy neighbor. She goes inside and closes the door behind her. Exterior trailer, day. With a load of laundry and little Chico at her side, Jessica grabs the mail out of the mailbox. Interior parole office, bathroom, day. The parole officer and Jessica share the bathroom. Jessica pees, holding the cup down between her legs while the parole officer looks on. Jessica musters up a smile. The parole officer turns away for a moment. Jessica sighs as the sound of her peeing begins. Little Chico stands in the next stall over amid a pile of toilet paper. He continues to pull more out.
All done?
Jessica holds up the steaming cup. Interior laundromat, day. A pool of water lies on the hard tiled floor near the washers. Little Chico walks around the laundromat, toy car in hand, which he drives along any surface within reach.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
His pace quickens into a run.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Jessica sits in front of the spinning dryers, preoccupied with the mail. Little Chico runs across the floor, approaching the pool of water. Aha! An official letter with State Medicaid Office, Child Services Division, listed as the address. She tears it open. Buried in a mess of bureaucratic double talk are the phrases: record number of applicants, state budget cuts. Only partial assistance can be offered at this time. Little Chico cries out in pain. The car bounces across the tile floor. She drops the letter and runs to her son.
Mommy, 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 mommy.
Interior bus, day. Jessica holds a sleeping little Chico close to her chest, his arm now in a cast. She hums gently to him. Pulling her cell phone out of her pocket, she scrolls through until she lands on the number for work. She hits the call button with her thumb.
Hey, is Richard in? Yeah, that's him. Sure, I can hold.
She adjusts little Chico so he doesn't fall from her lap.
Hi, Richard. It's Jessica. I have a little bit of an issue. Is there anyone who might be able to cover for me tonight? I don't have any numbers or I...
The voice on the other end is suddenly loud enough to be audible to the woman sitting across the aisle from her. She looks over at Jessica and then back to the front of the bus.
No, I know. And I want to work. I need the work.
Interrupted.
Yes, sir. I understand. I'll be there as soon as I...
Click.
Hello?
He hung up.
Hello?
Burying her face in her arms, she faces the window and begins to cry softly. Little Chico begins to sing the melody to a song they both love, similar to, if not, This Little Heart of Mine. She turns to look at her son. He reaches up to wipe the tears off her face and smooth the wrinkles from her brow.
Don't cry, Mama.
Her heart swells, bringing more tears, tears of joy. She sings along with her son.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, 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 let it shine.
She holds him tight.
I'm gonna do right, you'll see.
Exterior trailer, late afternoon. Jessica rushes up to the door of Joseph's trailer and lifts the top of the mailbox with a squeak. Joseph pops out of his door, surprising her.
Hey, Jess. Sorry about that. Come in. Come in. I was hoping to see you today.
I have to run to work, but here.
She hands him an envelope and turns to leave.
Thanks. Hold on.
He grabs her shoulder, stopping her.
Looks a little light.
He begins to count it.
I should have the rest for you as soon as I see my paycheck.
Joseph pockets the envelope.
That's not how this works, Jess.
I know, it's just with Chico's copay and Mama's prescriptions, taking most of her...
I hear you. Times are tough.
She breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah, for me too, you know.
I'll be back as soon as...
That'd be nice for you to stop by. It's been a while.
I'll have the rest of the money before the end of the week.
Joseph gets closer, so close she can feel his breath on her.
That's not gonna work, Jessica. You've got till tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll have to work something else out.
She stares up at him defiantly.
You know, I'm being more than fair here. Hi.
Fine, tomorrow.
She exits in a rush. He runs his hand through his hair as he watches her run toward the bus stop. Exterior city street, dusk. Jessica gets off the bus and runs down the street. Exterior high-end restaurant night. Sweating, she makes it to the kitchen door of the restaurant. Late! Fuck! She gathers her breath for a beat before stealthily opening the door and slipping inside. Interior high-end restaurant kitchen evening. The cooks are busily working away, prepping dishes. Servers move through the space. As she slips on her bib and slides into the dishwasher station to get to work, Richard, the manager, takes notice. Interior high-end restaurant kitchen later. The kitchen is much quieter now, and many of the cooks and waitstaff are gone for the night. Jessica clocks out near the manager's office.
Is that you, Jessica?
Right here.
Exterior manager's office night.
Close the door.
As we hold outside the door on the many schedules and order forms, we hear Jessica as she begins to break down.
Please don't do this to me. For God's sake, please.
I don't want to have to call security.
Exterior high-end restaurant kitchen entrance night. The kitchen door closes behind her. She takes a moment to pull herself together. Exterior bus stop night. Wiping her eyes, yet maintaining a brave face, she stands leaning against the bus stop, waiting. Looking at her watch, she looks around, thinks for a moment, then turns and walks in the opposite direction of home. Exterior strip club night. Jessica approaches a bouncer at the front door of the club. Bass is bumping loudly from the inside. The bouncer, Nate, 32, a heavy-set black man, opens the door for a grungy, overweight, long-distance trucker with his dirty baseball cap pulled low on his head. As the door opens, the sound from inside becomes even louder. He glances in Jessica's direction.
Ladies get it free.
Jessica pulls back her hood. Nate, recognizing her, puts out his hand.
Well, I'll be...
They share a familiar handshake, and then he pulls her close for a hug.
How are you doing?
A little flirty, but sweet.
Hey, Nate. I'm alright.
He hugs tighter, nearly squeezing the air out of her. She emits a little giggle. Bears will be bears.
So how'd we get so lucky as to have you coming in this evening? Thought you were steering clear at the place.
Jessica hesitates.
Just looking for an old friend.
Well, you in luck. I'm right here, just like every all night. I'm just kidding. You're welcome.
Nate opens the door and ushers Jessica inside. Interior strip club night. The strip club is clearly on its last legs. A couple of tired girls dance around poles on various stages in a haze of colored lights. Jake the Snake, 50s, stands near the cash register counting out single-dollar bills for the trucker. Jake wears a cheap suit, button-down dress shirt with a gold chain around his neck. Glancing up, Jake sees Jessica.
Hey, Jake.
18, 19, makes 20. Jessica! Long time no see. I almost didn't recognize you under all that fabric.
He hands the bills to the driver. Stretching across the bar, he gives her a quick hug.
God damn, you're a sight for sore eyes. I am short on girls tonight, and it's rocking in here.
One dancer yawning as she goes through the motions for a couple of dudes. The place is dead.
I see that.
Jessica looks a little uncomfortable, feeling now out of place in a club that she spent more time in than she'd like to admit.
You got something else to wear? You know where the lockers are at. I got a couple I need to cut locks on anyway. Sure there's something in there you would fit into.
You're sweet, Jake. I just came by to say hi. Sort of miss this place, I guess.
The thought makes her laugh.
Come on, look at you. Better looking than ever.
Yeah? You're too much.
Gonna have to take off that baggy ass sweatshirt though. In here too, you see.
As Jake is speaking, two hands fly over Jessica's eyes. She grabs both, at first startled, then, with a whiff, recognizing the sweet perfume and familiar soft hands, smiles. JJ, mid-30s, African-American transgender woman, tall, slender frame and long dark hair past her waist, stands behind Jessica. A tattoo, similar to Jessica's, but of 2 red diamonds rather than 3, are seen on JJ's neck.
Guess who?
Jessica turns and the two embrace, holding each other close for a long minute.
I can't believe you're here.
I know where to find trouble.
Of the best kind.
JJ grabs Jessica by both cheeks and kisses her right on the lips. She gets lipstick all over Jessica's face. As she pulls away, she glances down at the tattoo on Jessica's neck. Jessica's cheeks flush, taken aback by the kiss.
Well, hello. Girl, you know I can't wear that color.
Oh, you hush. I'm so happy to see you. Wait, you hear that?
JJ points up. A familiar song begins playing. Without words, the two get into position. They suppress giggles. Jake the snake, familiar with these antics, rolls his eyes, continues counting cash.
Count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
A rough dance routine ensues, then quickly breaks apart. They bust out laughing and crash into one another, ending in a hug. JJ goes in for another kiss, which Jessica awkwardly declines.
Good God, we've got some catching up to do. How's that little man of yours?
A sprout.
I bet. Come here. I have someone I want you to meet.
JJ, obviously not needing consent, pulls Jessica's arm and drags her toward a table in the corner of the club. The women approach 3 men smoking cigars and sipping from whiskey tumblers at a private table in the corner. Stacks of cash sit on the tables, and a couple of strippers flank the men on either side of Carlos, 40s, light complexion, and slick, thinning hair.
Baby, this is my girl Jess I'm always talking about. Jess, Carlos.
Hey.
Carlos greets Jessica with a big smile, unexpectedly sweet.
This your girl?
More like my long-lost sister.
Carlos motions the strippers away.
Well, welcome. Have a seat.
Carlos motions to one of the men seated nearby, with eyes still fixed on Jessica.
Pour her a drink.
Jessica raises her hands in protest.
Thanks, but I don't drink.
Not even one? That's no fun. Come on, this calls for a celebration. I know you got time for fun.
I always have time for fun.
That's my girl.
Come on, have a seat. An old friend of JJ's and is an old friend of mine.
Really nice of y'all, but I can't. Staying clean these days. You know what I mean. Don't look like that. I know you know.
JJ can't help but laugh. She does. The DJ transitions to a new tune. JJ's face lights up.
Another one. He's getting it right tonight.
JJ jumps out of the booth and grabs Jessica around the waist from behind. The two mesh together, so familiar, singing along. Cold crocodile eyes over the edge of his glass tumbler. Carlos takes a long drink as he watches them. Jessica turns to face JJ, puts her arms on her shoulders. The two continue to move in rhythm. The room begins to fade away as the two bring their foreheads together.
Don't hog your friend. Come on, sit down with us, ladies.
The moment between the women is interrupted. JJ looks over at Carlos, then pulls Jessica with her towards the booth. She scoots in next to Carlos and wraps her legs around his, grabbing his face and kissing his cheek. Jessica stops short of sitting.
I've really got to get home.
Got a man waiting or something?
The mere mention of the idea brings laughter.
No, I got a big mama waiting, and she don't like to wait on no one.
She's got babies at home, sugar.
Just one baby. That I know about.
Do something for me, will you?
JJ hurriedly scribbles her number on a napkin, gets up and hands it to Jessica.
Call me. And give Mama and that baby a kiss for me.
I will. See you, JJ.
Jessica turns and walks toward the club exit.
See ya.
Why don't you invite her out on our road trip? The two of you would make a nice duo. Cowboy's gonna love riding that ass.
JJ scoots into the booth and sits on Carlos's lap.
No, you stop that.
Jessica, having heard them, glances back and sees them nuzzle up, nose to nose, and turns and heads toward the front door. Interior Brett's trailer, night. Brett turns off his TV and gets up from his chair on his way to bed. As he passes the window, he sees Jessica walking through the trailer park. Exterior trailer park, night. As Jessica walks toward her trailer, she sees the door to Joseph's trailer crack open. Cross-cut. Exterior trailer park, night. Jessica stands in the middle of the drive. Joseph steps out onto his porch. Their eyes meet. Wearily, Jessica considers her next move. Interior Brett's trailer, night. Brett watches as Jessica turns back toward Joseph's trailer. Odd, it's late. Brett lights a cigarette. Exterior Joseph's trailer, night. Jessica approaches the stairs. Joseph pulls a pack of gum out of his pocket, unwraps a piece, puts the trash in his pocket, and walks back inside, leaves the door open. Jessica looks toward the open door, then back to her own trailer. With resolve, she walks up the stairs. Interior Brett's trailer, night. The door to Joseph's trailer closes behind Jessica. Brett watches for a beat or two. With growing disappointment and heartbeat, he closes the drapes. Alone in the darkness, Brett takes a long drag, the cherry end burning brightly in the dark room. Exterior trailer park, night. Quietly, Jessica gently closes the door to Joseph's trailer behind her, so as not to wake any neighbors or draw their attention. She glances toward Brett's trailer. Curtains are closed. It's dark. Heaving a sigh of relief, she hurries to her door and slips inside. Interior trailer, living room, day. Wearing a sundress and a little bit of makeup, Jessica sits on the couch as Chico colors next to her. She examines the help wanted ads in a cheap weekly reader. Cleaning help wanted. Day laborers. Want to get rich quick? Need cash?
How those baked beans coming along?
I just turned them down.
The glass bowl put the mayonnaise over on the counter. I just washed it a few minutes ago.
Big Mama emerges from the hallway and ambles into the kitchen wearing a colorful dress, hair neatly pinned.
Look at you.
Oh, look at you. Aren't you a fresh daisy? He's had that grill going for a little bit. We should head over there soon.
Mama, he mentioned something about wanting to help us.
Love does have a way of making everything work out.
Jessica rolls her eyes and shakes her head a bit.
What? Wait till he tries my potato salad.
Your famous potato salad.
You said it, not me. Like you, it needs a dash or two of paprika on top. Be a dear, will you?
Exterior trailer park afternoon. Jessica and Big Mama, oxygen in tow, walk toward Brett's trailer. They pass a group of boys playing basketball at a rundown hoop. Exterior Brett's backyard afternoon. Jessica opens a rickety white picket fence gate for Big Mama. Big Mama manages the bowl of potato salad and Jessica carries little Chico. People stand around with solo cups and cans of beer. Kids run around a sprinkler set up in the yard and chase each other with cups of water. Squeals of delight resonate throughout the party. Brett stands at the barbecue, discussing proper grill technique with another man. Against the trailer, a few people sit on a rundown couch, obviously meant for the indoors. 2 women stand at a picnic table organizing food, pimento and white bread sandwiches, fruit salads and jello mold desserts, paper plates and cups. Brett focuses on the task at hand. A man calls out from the couch.
Hey, Jess. Hey, Big Mama. You get that swamp cooler running?
Sure did. No thanks to you, you bum. Brett came over yesterday. Should take some notes on chivalry from him.
Jessica shoots Big Mama a look. Must you be so obvious?
Hey, Big Mama, let me help you with that.
A woman at the table grabs the dish from Big Mama.
You make your potato salad? It's my favorite. You put plenty of pickles in it.
You bet, honey.
A little girl from the neighborhood, maybe 7, comes running over to Jessica as she puts little Chico down.
Can Chico come play with us?
Of course. Make sure you don't get that cast too wet. I don't want the inside getting stinky.
The little girl grabs little Chico's hand. He's obviously comfortable with her and follows as best he can.
Come on, Chico. I know just the thing.
They walk away together. Jessica looks over the grill toward Brett. He glances back and they exchange a look. Then he goes back to grilling. She walks over to him, smiling nervously, obviously excited to see him.
Hey, Brett.
Hey,
Seems short. He picks up a plate of burgers and walks away from her, over to the table. Jessica follows him back to the picnic table.
Jess, maybe Brett would like a plate. This man's working hard. Let's get him fed.
that's okay, man. I'm good. Thank you.
He looks over at Jessica.
I could use some help in the kitchen with the watermelon, though.
Jessica looks at Brett, hesitates. Something is off.
Well, get in there and help our host. People going to be looking at me like who raised you.
Big Mama gives Jessica a light slap on the behind as a teasing gesture. Jessica follows Brett toward the trailer's front door. Interior Brett's kitchen afternoon. Brett enters. Jessica follows behind him.
How you been? Job treating you okay?
Jessica scans the kitchen counter and doesn't see a melon to cut. She walks through the refrigerator.
Work's been, looking for something new at the moment.
She opens the fridge door and scans for the melon, wanting to avoid this subject. She sees a plastic tub full of juicy red fruit and pulls it out of the fridge.
This is already cut.
Feeling his eyes on her, she takes the container to the counter on the other side of the kitchen without looking up.
How about you? How'd your jobs go?
As she pulls the lid off the container, she feels him step up behind her, so close that she can feel his breath on the back of her neck. He grabs her hips and leans over to kiss her neck.
Brett.
She consents, his kitsch and touch sweet at first. She offers sweetness in return, a small kiss, before coyly attempting to move away. Brett holds her firmly. His breath becomes sharp and short. He presses his body against the back of hers into the counter. Jessica stiffens, starting to feel uncomfortable. Trying to keep it playful, she smiles and gently pushes against the counter to get a little more space.
Brett, stop. Somebody might come in.
Feeling her resistance, he grabs her hips and pushes into her backside.
I know you want it.
He breathes heavily on her neck as he reaches under her dress. Jessica, grabbing his hand, attempts to push his probing digits away. He kisses her neck aggressively and pushes his pelvis into her even harder.
Brett, I don't like that. Please stop. You're being too rough.
You like it. I know you do. You can't help yourself, can you?
Brett does not stop his aggression. He again forces his hand up her skirt and into her underwear. Jessica, feeling now like a trapped animal in danger, leans forward to get her hands on the counter.
That's more like it.
He begins to undo his pants. With all the strength she has, she pushes herself back and gains just enough space to get her foot up against the cupboards. Pushing her foot into the cupboards with all of her strength, she throws him off balance and sends him backpedaling through the room. They fall backwards together and crash against the refrigerator on the other side of the kitchen. Brett loses his grip on her, and she quickly pushes him away, pissed.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I told you to stop.
Brett stands, furious.
So that's how it is, huh? You want me to take care of you and buy you nice dinners while you fuck your way through the whole damn trailer park?
Her eyes widen, shocked.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Brett, now acting like he has the upper hand, takes a breath and begins to straighten his shirt.
I don't care what you do, as long as I get some. I'm not gonna be made of no fool.
Wide-eyed with shock, she suddenly realizes his error.
Brett, I didn't do...
Before she can finish her sentence, he roughly pulls her toward him again.
Get off me!
She punches him in the face, hard. The force surprises her. Blood comes out of his nose. He's just as surprised as she is. His hand touches the blood, and he looks at it before turning back to her. Then, a patronizing laugh.
You stupid bitch. I would have paid your fucking rent if you would have just given me time, but you couldn't wait for it, could you?
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Jessica storms out. Wiping the blood off his nose, Brett, regaining his cool, picks up the container of food off the counter and follows her out the door. Exterior, Brett's backyard, day. Jessica walks quickly down the back steps. She flashes a look toward Big Mama and turns in the direction of the children playing. Nearby, party attendees have stopped what they're doing. The sight of blood running from Brett's nose makes them pause. They watch Jessica as she moves quickly across the yard, not entirely sure what just went down in Brett's trailer. Big Mama turns her gaze to Brett as he walks coolly to the picnic table.
Everything okay in there?
He sets the fruit down and laughs weakly. He wipes the back of his hand across his nose, looking to see if there's still blood.
Your girl got a lot of fire in her, just like her mama, I'd imagine.
Jessica approaches, holding little Chico. He is soaked from the sprinklers. There's a plastic grocery bag tied around the arm of the cast.
We're going home.
Big Mama, not sure of what has transpired, but hearing enough, still doesn't want to risk offending Brett.
Why don't you just stay for a burger, sugar? I'm sure our host would like your company.
Brett keeps his eyes down. The party has gone quiet. Breaking the tension, a neighbor calls out to Brett.
Hey, man, you gotta get these dogs off the grill? I need some room for corn.
Without looking at Brett, who watches her, Jessica walks to the back gate. Interior, trailer afternoon. Jessica slams the door behind her.
I want to go back and play, Mama.
She grabs the remote.
Here.
She puts on a kid's show.
I'm cold, Mama.
Jessica grabs a blanket and pulls the plastic wrap off his cast. She begins to weep. She sits down on the couch. Seeing his mother cry, little Chico goes to her and hugs her. She wraps him in the blanket.
I love you too.
Big Mama comes through the front door.
Explain yourself.
Me? Mama, what are you...
Don't play dumb with me, Mama. What? Your big mouth's always fucking shit up. What happened?
She looks up at her mother and begins to answer. Suddenly, everything powers down. The lights, the swamp cooler, the clock on the microwave, everything.
God damn it. The goddamn power's out. It's gonna hit 100 and the goddamn power's out.
She looks out the window. Exterior trailer afternoon. The opposite end of the orange extension cord with the black plug is hanging off the railing to their trailer.
Oh, dear. He cut our power.
Enraged, she turns on her daughter.
What the fuck went down in Brett's trailer?
Little Chico begins to cry.
You're scaring him.
I know what happened. I don't have to see through walls and shit to know what happened. Jesus. Would it have killed you, Jess?
She meets her raging mother's eyes, shaking.
Don't give me that look.
You watch your fucking mouth.
Don't you dare speak to me like that in my own goddamn house.
Jessica rises. Big Mama grabs her arm.
Would it have killed you to give that nice man a little bit of companionship? Not like it's your first fucking time.
Jessica jerks her arm away.
Fuck you!
Yeah? Fuck me. We're sitting in the goddamn dark with no power because you're above that kind of thing. Who suddenly made you a fairy princess?
He tried to rape me in his own kitchen right under your nose and you're taking his side?
Oh, that's rich. Something changed since last night? I didn't know you were calling it rape now. You seem to be fine with spreading your legs and letting just about anything rape you, so long as they left you with $20 and something to shove up your nose.
A second punch to the gut. Big Mama's assumptions are the same as Brett's. Rage burns in Jessica's cheeks.
Yeah, well, you seem just fine with it as long as you got $10 out of the deal. Who needs a pimp when they got a big mama?
Big Mama, suddenly showing more strength than her out-of-shape frame would imply, open hand smacks Jessica across the face with a clearly well-practiced move that is of such force that it sends Jessica backwards onto the couch, nearly falling on Little Chico. Little Chico, putting his hand to his cheek, screams as if he is the one who's been hit.
You ungrateful little bitch. You think you're too good to do your part around here? Can't keep a job to save your life. Get the fuck out of my house.
Big Mama picks up the nearest object, the remote, and throws it at Jessica. Jessica curls over Little Chico just as the remote tags her in the back of the head. Big Mama rages.
Get out! Get the fuck out of my house! My disability ain't much, but I'd rather scrimp by than have you under this roof.
Jessica jumps up and heads down the hallway. Interior Jessica's bedroom, afternoon. Jessica slams the door as she enters. She can hear Big Mama right behind her, feet heavy but moving fast. Reaching into her closet, she takes down a duffel bag and begins to frantically pack. The door opens violently.
I want you out of here. No good for nothing's gonna raise my grandson.
In a rushed motion, Jessica slips the notebook with glittery rainbows and unicorns into the duffel.
No baby deserves a no good like you.
Jessica continues to pull clothing out of the closet, shoving it into her duffel bag. Feeling a trickle, she reaches up and wipes a small spot of blood from her nose. Jessica grabs her duffel bag and, interior hallway afternoon, stands face to face with her mother.
You're right about one thing. I ain't no fairy fucking princess. Wasn't raised to be one.
The two stand, red-faced. Big Mama is out of breath. After a pause, Jessica pushes past Big Mama and walks toward the living room. Interior trailer afternoon. Little Chico, seeing the bag, knows what it means immediately.
Mama, don't go, Mama, don't go!
Jessica wipes the tears from her eyes. She tries to steady her voice as she speaks. She sits down with Little Chico.
Mama's gotta take a little trip, baby.
She puts her arms around him.
Don't go.
He wraps his arms around her neck. She holds him tight and fights back tears.
I love you, Sugar Bear, with all my heart. I'm coming home so soon. Just a few sleeps, I promise. You gonna be good while I'm gone?
Little Chico continues to cry. Tears begin streaming down Jessica's face. This is all too much. Big Mama, arms crossed, looks on.
You ain't doing this little boy again. I told you last time. I'm the God-given, court-appointed guardian for a reason.
The words sting. Jessica, wise to this moment, knows she's got few moves to make. She cannot fight Big Mama. Not now. She gets up quickly and goes to the door.
I love you. I love you so much. I'll be back, I promise.
Little Chico begins to wail. She exits the trailer. Exterior trailer, late afternoon. Jessica wipes the tears from her eyes as her son is heard wailing in the trailer behind her. The sun sinks toward the horizon as she leaves the trailer park. Exterior bus stop, dusk. As the bus pulls away, Jessica, with her hood up and her hands in her pockets, walks toward the neon sign of the Motel Chalet. It is a rundown spot. The windows are barred and the sign in the window reads, monthly rates. Exterior motel room, dusk. Jessica knocks on room number 8. The sound of the door being unlocked. JJ opens the door. They embrace for a long moment.
I'm so sorry, hon. You'll get him back.
Jessica, on the verge of tears, buries her head in her friend's neck. JJ starts to softly sing a song from the 80s, possibly the song from the opening. Jessica looks up, wiping the tears from her eyes, a smile growing on her face.
See? Everything's gonna be okay now that you're with us.
Hey,
JJ, a little high, looks at Jessica and tenderly plays with Jessica's hair.
I'm glad you called. Are you?
Jessica nods in affirmation.
welcome to our humble abode.
Using her hand, JJ makes an attempt to clean up Jessica's smeared makeup.
You're so pretty.
Come in.
Taking Jessica by the hand, JJ leads her inside. Interior motel room, dusk.
You remember my girl?
I do.
Carlos leans out the doorway, glancing around suspiciously for a second.
Welcome.
He closes the door, locking it.
We talked.
Yeah?
She glances at Carlos. He nods in affirmation. She can tell Jessica.
You're good. It's gonna be great. You on the trip and all. Like the old days.
Like the old days.
She hugs her girlfriend.
Thank you both so much.
Relief.
There's just one thing.
What's that?
He begins to undo his pants. Jessica, uncomfortable, awkwardly looks to JJ.
Come on, Kai. This isn't some tramp ass out. This is my girl.
Then what's the big deal?
No big deal.
A beat.
You gonna make me do all the work myself?
Pants undone, he drops his arms to his sides. Jessica looks to JJ, concerned. JJ looks from Jessica to Carlos and back again, giving up the fight. She turns away and faces the nightstand. With her back to Jessica and Carlos, she leans down and snorts a line off the nightstand.
It's nothing. No big deal.
Turning around, she has a pack of cigarettes in one hand while she wipes her nose with the other. Jessica doesn't know what to do. She glances toward the door.
You think Jesus gonna come through that door or something? I'm as friendly as they gonna get.
Avoiding eye contact, JJ licks her finger and cleans any remnants of powder off the nightstand, rubbing it into her gums.
Go ahead. No big deal at all. Like the old days.
A hollow laugh. Jessica, feet still frozen, looks between Carlos and JJ.
Ain't nothing but a thing.
Taking a step forward, Jessica glances to her friend. JJ has her back to her, before kneeling in front of Carlos. Looking up at him, she finishes undoing his pants and reaches into his boxers. He smiles as he makes eye contact with JJ, as Jessica begins to get to work.
You're a princess, baby. An honest-to-goodness goddamn princess.
JJ, sitting down on the bed with an unlit cigarette in her hand, musters a half-hearted smile for Jessica. Rising, JJ walks to the door. Carlos eyes her as she leaves.
Don't get mad. It's just business.
Closing his eyes again, he really enjoys himself.
Just business, baby.
Without looking back, JJ opens the door and...
You can watch. Ain't no harm in that.
Exterior motel room evening, steps outside. She closes the door behind her and lights her cigarette. She takes a big drag and exhales deeply, taking in the setting sun. Interior car road trip day. The three cruise down the highway in Carlos's car. Jessica and JJ sing and dance in their seats. JJ reaches over to Carlos, encouraging his involvement and teasing a little. He looks back at her and rolls his eyes. The two giggle and continue their performance. Jessica rolls down her window and looks out at the scenery. They pass open pastures with center pivot irrigation systems watering knee to thigh-high crops in the heart of farm country. The promise of the abundant growth and crystal clear sky is intoxicating. Jessica hangs her head out the window and takes it in. She hasn't been out of the city for so long. The fresh, warm air feels good on her face. She opens her eyes as they pass several grain silos and a harvester. Exterior Main Street afternoon. They pass a couple of large banners. One says, "Welcome, partners," and the other reads, "Frontier Days." Both have cartoony rodeo characters on them, like Yosemite Sam.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Exterior Pioneer Inn afternoon. This place has seen far better days, long since past. The pool is empty, save for the dirty, rotting leaves and debris littering the bottom. A weathered sign reads, "Pool closed for routine maintenance." Carlos's car pulls into the parking lot, passing a few sketchy-looking dudes wearing sweats and worn shoes, smoking cigarettes in a side alley, clearly hustlers. But there's also regular folk who are just barely getting by. An old man sitting in a worn lawn chair, smoking a cigar, a worn child scooter left on its side, an overly tan elderly woman sunbathing by the pool, and a woman in a fast food uniform leaving for work, all dot the landscape of the motel. Interior car afternoon. JJ and Jessica wait for Carlos.
Pool looks sweet.
Yes, it does. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Takes a second to get used to it, you know?
She takes out her small notebook with the glittery rainbow and unicorn on it. With a click of her pen, she begins to write in it.
What you writing? Working on some lyrics?
You could say that when something comes to me and keeping track
Of what?
of how much this sweet ass brings in.
They both crack a smile.
Seriously though, I just need enough to get my son all right, then I'm out.
Yeah, me too.
It's a thin statement. Deep down, neither one of them are naive enough to believe what JJ said is true. JJ takes a puff from a cigarette. A quiet pause follows.
How come you didn't come see me, JJ?
The question makes JJ uncomfortable.
Big Mama used to take the bus.
You know how it is. Things just got busy. I wanted to, but
Busy? For 2 years? Come on.
JJ keeps her eyes averted. The conversation is uncomfortable.
well, yeah, well, shit wasn't exactly easy for me either.
It's a ridiculous thing to say, and JJ knows it.
Please.
Did Big Mama tell you I stopped by? Little Chico,
JJ smiles. Jessica doesn't respond.
he's a cute kid. Real smart. Gonna turn out alright.
JJ is interrupted by Carlos exiting the manager's office. He walks toward the car.
Don't start.
The message is heard by JJ loud and clear. The two learn to look toward Carlos. His eyes are suddenly intent on the outside stairs to the second floor of rooms. Noticing his hawk-like stare, the two girls look in that direction. Two men, Miguel, 40s, and Rolando, 30s, seemingly of Latin descent, and wearing expensive sneakers and shiny watches, ascend. On the second floor and within sight of Miguel and Rolando, Margarita, 14 to 17, stands in the doorway of their motel room. Rolando speaks in rapid Spanish to her as they approach.
Chiquita, didn't we tell you to stay in the room?
Margarita disappears inside immediately. At the car, Carlos approaches JJ and Jessica with his attention turned to Miguel and Rolando.
What's up, sugar?
Same old shit.
He looks over at the girls.
What?
The girls stare back at him, not impressed.
Place has got some character, don't you think?
JJ flicks her cigarette outside as both exit the car. Exterior Pioneerian afternoon. Bags in hand, they walk toward the room on the second floor. They can hear whimpering as they pass a room. Jessica pauses and looks toward the door. Carlos glances back to her.
Come on, probably someone's dog or something needing to walk, pet friendly and all.
JJ puts an arm around her, moving her along.
Fucking animals.
In the background, a cleaning lady passes by, pushing her cart. Interior bathroom night. A knock. Jessica looks back in the mirror and takes a deep breath. JJ adjusts her wig behind her.
Nervous?
A little.
You got this, girl. It's just fucking.
A smile breaks across Jessica's face.
It's just fucking.
They high-five.
We definitely got this.
Ladies,
They exit the bathroom.
Well, aren't you handsome?
Interior motel room night. The girls approach a John dressed up in boots and pressed jeans. He shifts his weight from boot to boot before smiling nervously at the girls.
I bet you came to have a good time, sugar.
Interior bathroom night. Jessica sits on the toilet, arms across her midsection. She winces as a small trickle of pee is heard in the toilet. To her side is a trash can with used condoms. Ick. Wiping gently, she flushes and turns on the shower. Interior motel room pre-dawn. Lights are off. Jessica emerges from the bathroom, freshly showered. She leaves the door partly open to illuminate the darkened room. She pulls some clothes from her bag along with her small unicorn notebook. Dressed in sweatpants and sweatshirt, she slides on her shoes, picks up the notebook, and heads for the door. We could see an outline of two people sleeping together in one bed as she walks by. Exterior motel room, pre-dawn. Jessica walks past the cleaning lady, pushing her cart down the corridor.
Buenos dias.
The cleaning lady offers a nod and smile. She nears the door she heard crying from earlier. Coming around the corner, she nearly runs into a barefoot Margarita holding a bucket full of ice. Her cheeks are wet with tears and one cheek has a fresh welt. The two, startled by one another, stare a moment. Before Jessica can say anything, Margarita quickly walks down the hallway. Jessica turns to watch her as she approaches the door that the crying had come from earlier and knocks softly. Margarita flashes a quick glance back in Jessica's direction as she enters the motel room. Exterior Pioneerian, poolside, pre-dawn. Jessica sits in a cheap plastic lounge chair next to the empty pool. She slumps and exhales big. She closes her eyes for a moment. Feeling a cool breeze, she pauses in the relative quiet. Opening her eyes, she opens a notebook, turning to little Chico's artwork. It is an owl with big eyes. She smiles for a moment before turning the page. Singing to herself, Jessica takes out a folded wad of cash, counts out a number of $10 and $20 bills. She adds a figure to the bottom of a column of numbers titled Little Chico's Eye Surgery Fund. Done, she places the money into the notebook's zippered pencil pocket. Interior motel room, morning. Jessica enters the room carrying a caddy with 3 coffees in styrofoam cups and a bag from a donut shop. Her notebook is held under her arm. Carlos sits up in bed watching a sports-related talk show on the television. JJ is still sleeping next to him, arms wrapped around his waist.
got a cooler in there.
Golden glaze and long johns. Chocolate.
He glances up at her as she sets the bag down in front of him.
Thanks.
He mutes the television before opening the bag.
What's that under your arm?
Jessica sets the bag down and takes a coffee out of the caddy.
This?
She holds onto her notebook.
Just something my kid gave me.
Okay. He turns his attention to his donut.
Starting to worry you left us.
Coffee?
Carlos puts his hand out and takes the beverage. She goes back to the bag and rifles around for some creamers and sugar packets.
You take anything?
Nah, black is good.
Carlos eyes Jessica.
I couldn't sleep. Just decided to grab breakfast.
I don't want you running around by yourself.
Jessica turns to Carlos. She holds his gaze. JJ begins to stir next to Carlos and the stare is broken.
Shit's not safe around the 4 seasons here.
JJ pushes a pillow off her head, wig on the bedside table, makeup a mess. She immediately reaches for her cigarettes that are also on the nightstand.
Why are you guys even awake?
Jessica grabs a donut and sits on the other bed. Carlos nudges JJ.
Get your ass up, cowgirl. We got some rodeoing to do.
JJ grunts in protest as she reaches to the bedside table and scoops up some white powder with her pinky fingernail. Quick snort, and she's on her way. Throwing her feet around and onto the floor, JJ looks at her two companions with a slight smile as she stands and makes her way to the bathroom. Exterior Pioneer Inn parking lot. Day. Carlos unlocks the car doors with a remote as the three approach. Beep, beep.
Get in. I'll be back in a sec.
You sit in front.
The two girls get in the car.
I do hope they got some funnel cake.
Climbing into the back seat, the sun shines brightly in JJ's eyes.
Grab my shit out of the glove box, will you?
Jessica opens the glove box and grabs JJ's sunglasses, pulling out a card with the shades. Lifting up the card, she reads the name. Francis Reginald Larkin III.
Who the fuck is Francis Reginald Larkin III?
JJ, perking up in the back, leans over into the front seat.
Oh, shit.
Is this car stolen?
JJ starts to crack up. She struggles to contain it, nervously glancing back in Carlos's direction.
No, girl. It ain't stolen.
Then whose car is this?
It's Carlos's.
Jessica looks at her friend, irritated.
That's his real name, honey.
What?
Yeah, that's right. Put that away quick. He's a little touchy about it.
Where the fuck did he get Carlos?
Your guess is as good as mine. But listen, he don't like me using it, except you're not gonna believe this. Oh shit, he's here.
Carlos emerges from the hotel lobby, holding a can of soda. Jessica is cracking up.
Straight face, straight face. You can't say a word. He'd kill me if he knew I told you. Put that away.
Thank you, Francis.
She can't believe it. Jessica hurriedly puts the insurance card back in the glove box. Carlos gets in and starts the car. Putting it in reverse, he looks at the girls. Both look away, but share a similar grin.
What the fuck you up to?
Through a snicker.
Nothing.
Jessica bursts into laughter. He looks back at JJ. Seeing his face, she bursts out as well.
What the fuck is wrong with you two?
Frustration builds on Carlos's face. He continues to look between the two girls.
Seriously, it's nothing.
The two start to gather themselves as he studies them both. Gathering herself, she looks at Carlos. She can't help herself.
Francis.
The two bust a gut laughing. The laughter is uncontrollable. Carlos looks between the two. His cheeks redden as tension builds. Being the butt of the joke stings. He stares out the front window.
Stop.
But both have lost it. Fueled mostly by the laughter more than the joke itself.
Stop what, Francis Reginald? What the fuck? The third?
Too far. Carlos smacks the steering wheel hard.
Shut the fuck up!
The threat of his anger is real enough to silence them both. Yikes. Putting the car in gear, Carlos begins backing up as he looks in the rear view. A police cruiser pulls in behind them and blocks Carlos in. He stops hard, nearly backing into the cruiser.
Fuck.
He mumbles a few additional obscenities as he reaches for his bag, pulls some cash out, and returns it to the car's passenger side floorboard.
Cover up my bag and don't either of you move. Look forward and mind your business.
Carlos exits the car, arms raised, cash folded, but visible in his palm. Using her side view mirror, Jessica watches as Carlos approaches the police car behind them. His arms are still up. He approaches the driver's side window, a friendly smile on his face.
Top of the morning to you, officers.
They gonna bust us?
Nah,
JJ glances out the rear window.
just your standard everyday motherfucking shakedown.
The women sit quietly. Keeping her eyes on the mirror, Jessica watches as Carlos leans in close to the police car. JJ sinks down in her seat.
If they sound run over, you do the talking, okay?
Jessica nods. Okay.
You know how it is.
Carlos then pushes away from the cruiser door and walks back to his car. He gets back in, obviously steaming. The girls keep their mouths shut. This is not good.
Fucking pigs.
They gonna leave us alone now?
I wish. You haven't seen the last of them. You can be sure of that.
Not getting busted ain't cheap.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to work twice as hard, aren't we?
Looking at Jessica's lap.
I'm not sure she can take it.
Sorry, babe, I'm afraid she don't have no choice.
Carlos watches as the police car backs up and pulls out of the parking lot before putting the car into reverse.
Giddy up.
Exterior rodeo fairgrounds day. Swarms of people play games and line up for rides near picnic tables full of people eating standard fare food, cotton candy, funnel cake, tacos, and burgers. Exterior rodeo stands day. JJ, Jessica, and Carlos sit on metal bleachers. Both girls wear colored cowboy hats. JJ's is pink, Jessica's is blue. Both are freshly purchased.
Now, this cowboy hails all the way from Wichita Falls. He's a three-time NFR competitor and last year's Frontier Days gold buckle winner. He's Tommy Two-Tone Jabber on Hellboy.
JJ jumps to her feet and cheers on the cowboy. A bull rider holds steady with a hand in the air as a big bull spins and bucks underneath him. Two rodeo clowns play chase close to the bull's nose.
Look at Hellboy spin. Hold on, cowboy. He ain't giving up 8 without a fight.
The crowd cheers along and then a collective gasp echoes throughout. JJ throws her hands over her mouth. The bull rider is scrambling to his feet, one clown helping him up, the other runs across the front of the bull, distracting him away from the rider.
Woo! Now that bull got a mean streak that size of Texas. Give old Two-Tone a hand, folks. That was a tough ride. And give our rodeo clowns a big round of applause for keeping our cowboys safe out there today.
Fair music takes over the loudspeaker. JJ sits back down.
I thought he was gonna kill that guy.
Jessica munches on a bag of kettle corn.
You'd probably be pissed too if someone tied your nuts up.
JJ slaps Carlos playfully on the arm.
Is that right?
JJ takes a handful of kettle corn.
Well, maybe that's what you get. Be trying to poke us in places you don't belong.
Speak for yourself, slut.
You're a slut.
I mean, yes.
She playfully begins to tickle Jessica as all three laugh. Carlos receives a tap on the shoulder. All three turn to see a grandma with 2 grandkids, a boy and a girl, ages 10 and 11, old enough to know. Both children, holding ice cream cones, sit staring at the trio with eyes wide. The boy's ice cream melts down his hand.
Excuse me, this is a family place.
I'm terribly sorry, man.
Jessica notes his manners. She's surprised by his courteous response. Behind them, a roughneck cowboy, late teens, early 20s, has his eyes on the trio. He slides out of his seat, exiting while keeping tabs on them. Exterior rodeo carnival day. Jessica and JJ are seen inside a hammer ride or gravitron, screaming with delight as they get tossed about by the ride. Cut to Carlos leans against a railing at the ride entrance, eyeing the crowd. A teenaged boy gives him a look, and Carlos glares back. The boy quickly looks down and walks away, intimidated. In the background, the roughneck cowboy observed earlier and a couple of his friends gather, watching Carlos and the girls. Exterior rodeo lot day. Jessica and JJ eat ice cream, casually holding hands as they walk through the lot. Carlos walks behind them with his ice cream in a cup. A salesman dressed in nice Western attire, nice hat, talks to a couple of interested customers about the shiny new farm equipment that surrounds them. He looks up and catches Jessica's eye. She smiles and glances to the side. This brief exchange is not lost on Carlos.
Looks like we got a live one.
As the customers walk away, the salesman approaches Jessica, lifting the hat off his head.
Howdy, miss.
Howdy.
Would you mind introducing me to your friend there?
Which one?
JJ comes into view to the side of Jessica. She takes a bit of ice cream, playing the spoon with her tongue.
My, oh my.
She's extra. Follow?
The salesman nods, a smile growing on his face as he casually looks around, nervous, excited. Interior RV day, the sound of a bed squeaking and a man grunting. Pictures on the RV wall of the salesman with his family rattle in time with the grunting. All American, portrait, his son posing for a picture in his Little League baseball uniform, his daughter riding proud on her horse. Various knickknacks of American heritage decorate the interior of the RV in a farmhouse aesthetic. The salesman, balding, sweaty. He's on all fours, taking it from behind from JJ. While humping away, JJ takes a moment to yawn.
Don't stop! God, don't stop!
Bored, she begins to pound him again. Exterior fairgrounds, parking lot day. The roughneck and his friends gather in the periphery of the parking lot about a stone's throw away. Faggot. He or she, you tell me, that kind of stuff. Exterior RV day. Jessica stands next to Carlos, who bangs on the trailer's door.
Time's up.
He glances nervously in the direction of the roughnecks.
We gotta go.
A slightly disheveled JJ steps out of the RV.
What's the rush?
Come on.
He hustles her out of there with Jessica following, looking nervously over her shoulder. Exterior fairgrounds, parking lot day. Their car pulls out and leaves. The parking lot is filled with row after row after row of cars, campers, and RVs. Interior motel room day. Jessica emerges from the bathroom, drying her hair, and sees JJ napping, snuggling with Carlos. Carlos notices Jessica and snuggles closer to JJ. Jessica turns back toward the bathroom and vigorously continues to dry her hair. Interior motel room, night. Music bumps in the background. A man enters as Carlos opens the door. The two have a cryptic exchange, unheard. The man flashes 2 fingers. Carlos nods his head in agreement. The man hands Carlos cash. Carlos nods to Jessica and JJ as he leaves the room and closes the door behind him.
What a rare blessing, one of each. You ladies are May Sag Prosa here.
JJ approaches him and begins rubbing his chest affectionately. She giggles playfully and then turns and rubs her booty up against him.
We're bros at a lot of things. What's your name, handsome?
How about you just call me Daddy?
He looks toward Jessica. She watches from the bed.
Are you the shy one? Why don't you come over and give your girlfriend a kiss?
Jessica gets off the bed and walks over to JJ. Standing face to face, they study each other. Jessica reaches up and tucks JJ's hair behind her ear. JJ's cheeks blaze as she looks down. JJ kisses Jessica on the neck. The feeling of her lips makes Jessica weak in the knees and she closes her eyes. They interlace their fingers and start moving in rhythm, so familiar. The two lean in and start kissing, first pecks on the lips, then playfully open-mouthed. After a moment,
Ladies, this is sweet and all, but my meter is running.
JJ looks at Jessica. They can't. Not here. Not now. It's time to work. She obediently reaches back and begins unbuckling his belt. Jessica reaches around and finishes the job of unbuttoning his pants.
How's this, honey?
He looks down at the girls who are just out of frame.
Now that's what I paid for.
She rises and begins to make out with him as Jessica continues to go down on him, just out of frame. Interior motel room later. With wet hair and a towel wrapped around her, Jessica exits the bathroom.
Pizza's here.
He stands in front of the TV watching a sports-related talk show.
I'm starving.
She goes to the table to grab a slice. JJ sits there eating with a lit cigarette within reach.
Here. You earned it.
JJ reaches out with a wad of cash.
Thanks.
Taking a seat on the side of the bed nearest to the closet, she absentmindedly watches the TV and eats her slice with the cash in her free hand. Carlos and Jessica seem preoccupied. Reaching down, she slips the cash into her things. As Carlos chooses pizza, he nonchalantly watches her. Interior motel room, afternoon. Jessica and JJ lie on the bed, Jessica spooning JJ. JJ's eyes are closed. Jessica softly pets JJ's head. Carlos enters and JJ lazily sits up. He studies the two. Jessica gets up and grabs a pair of shorts out of the closet and starts putting them on.
Where do you think you're going?
It's hot in here. I'm gonna get us some ice.
She grabs the ice bucket off the dresser, smells it to make sure it's clean, and walks to the door.
Don't be doing your usual dilly-dally. You got customers coming.
Jessica begins to slip on her flip-flops.
No shoes.
Jessica eyes Carlos a moment, kicks off her flip-flops, grabs a room key, and slips out. Exterior motel, outdoor common area, afternoon. Jessica makes her way down the concrete balcony. Fluorescent lights flicker as mosquitoes swarm close to the lights. She turns into an alcove with a sign that reads, Ice Machine, overhead. The ice machine works noisily as the bucket slowly fills with ice. The sound of a throat clearing. Her back stiffens as she straightens up.
Pardon?
Lo siento.
Miguel, hearing her clear accent, speaks to her in Spanish. His voice is very melodic, almost hypnotizing. A handsome face. Jessica is caught off guard.
¿Hablas español?
Sí.
She takes a step toward her hotel room.
You don't have to run away. I don't bite. Dios mío.
He grabs her arm. Jessica jerks it back.
What?
He holds up his hands as if to indicate he means no harm.
Your eyes. I've never seen any more beautiful.
She laughs out loud, rolls her eyes, but the compliment is clearly well received. Her cheeks flush. The danger carries with it a certain intrigue.
No, it's true. Look, I saw you here with your friends. Your friends should buy you shoes.
Jessica looks down at her bare feet and then back down the hall toward the room. The door is closed. Jessica turns back as ice cubes noisily fill Miguel's bucket. Bucket in hand, Miguel turns toward Jessica. Miguel brushes hair away from Jessica's cheek. She's suddenly flushed. He leans closer.
Why don't you come over? We're having a party and it would be impolite of me not to invite my neighbors.
Hearing the flick of a lighter, she turns down the hall. She sees Carlos leaning against the door jamb, lighting a cigarette. Miguel, seeing Carlos and enjoying the taunt, brushes his hand against her wrist gently. She pulls her hand back. It's almost like a dance.
The offer is open. Come and see me anytime. No shoes required.
Looking over his shoulder, he winks at Carlos. The two hold a stare. Not good. Miguel, making a clicking sound, turns to go as Jessica walks toward Carlos. She enters, passing him. Carlos watches Miguel disappear around the corner, then goes into the motel room, closing the door behind him. The sound of the door locking. Interior motel room, late afternoon. Jessica sets the ice bucket on the dresser. Plastic cup in hand, Carlos looks into the bucket.
A lot of water in this bucket.
He scoops himself a glass.
It was like that in the machine. Probably not working right.
Not working right. Yeah.
He cracks ice between his teeth. Jessica grabs a cup of ice, her anger building.
You got a problem with something?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Jessica senses something is not right.
Where's JJ?
She glances around nervously as she begins to backstep toward the door. Carlos moves to block her.
In the John, why you need my girl?
I was just making small talk.
She reaches the door first.
You seem to be unclear about our arrangement.
She puts her hand on the doorknob. Carlos locks the deadbolt.
What is this bullshit? You don't own my ass.
She glances toward the bathroom.
JJ, hey, are you in there?
Like lightning, he grabs her by the throat and begins to squeeze. In his other hand, he holds Jessica's phone. Jessica reaches for her phone as she starts to gag. Carlos grabs the phone away from her.
Not your phone, my phone. Let me make one thing perfectly fucking clear. You're my property. Did you hear that? You're my fucking property. Your property is my property. Ain't no JJ gonna come to your motherfucking rescue. You try to leave me or double-cross me, undermine me or mine, and I'll fucking kill you. Do you understand?
She nods and tries to speak, but it's garbled. Her face is beginning to turn purple.
What did you fucking say?
She pushes her to the ground. She falls to the ground and tries to gather her breath.
What did you fucking say?
Jessica tries to get up and move to the door, but he lands on her, roughly.
I understand.
He begins to pull down her shorts.
You're my fucking property.
Please, Carlos, you're hurting.
Shut the fuck up.
Please, no.
From behind, he shoves her head down into the floor. Tears begin.
I said shut the fuck up.
She begins to whimper as he pulls down his pants and spits on his hand, then reaches for his crotch.
I'm going to drive my point fucking home so you never forget.
Her body clenches in pain as he forces himself into her.
No, please.
Interior bathroom, late afternoon. Sitting on the closed toilet, JJ weeps into her hands.
My fucking property.
Jessica can be heard crying at every thrust.
Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please God, stop.
JJ jumps up, grabs the door handle, and exits the bathroom. Interior motel room continuous. Running toward the violence, Carlos has his back to JJ.
Stop.
JJ grabs Carlos by the shoulders. He backhands her. JJ hits the wall hard, and before she hits the ground, a hand wraps around her neck.
You think you're gonna save your little girlfriend? I'll fucking kill you both, do you understand me?
Feeling a moment of freedom, Jessica scoots for the door, pulling up her pants before getting up and staggering to it.
Where do you think you're going?
She unlocks the door.
You think you could just run away?
A split-second glance at JJ, terror in her eyes, and she's gone. Exterior Pioneer Inn, early evening. With no shoes and tears streaming, Jessica makes her way down the steps and across the parking lot to a nearby gas station. Exterior gas station, early evening. She reaches a worn-out payphone and realizes she doesn't have any money. The coin dispenser is empty. Tears have smeared her makeup. She's a mess. A customer walks by quickly.
Excuse me. I need to make a phone call.
She's ignored. Looking inside, she sees the clerk leaning over the counter for a better look at her. She hides from his view. Another customer walks past.
Excuse me.
Ignored again. She takes the phone off the cradle and hits 0. The phone rings a few times.
Operator, hello. Can I help you?
Yes. Yes, I need to make a collect call.
Number, please.
Interior trailer, early evening. Sitting on the couch, Big Mama looks through her ring and phone. A daytime TV talk show can be seen on the screen behind her.
How much? Excuse me. How much per minute?
It's me, Mama, please.
Like hell, please. I know you ain't paying.
Mama?
Exterior gas station, day.
Mama, I want to come home.
Hey, now, listen.
I need your help.
You're gonna get yourself out of this jam yourself. Do you hear me? You got yourself into this mess.
This will be the last time, Mama. I swear to you.
Every damn time it's the same thing. Start something and never finish. I'm sorry. Bye, baby. I'm so sorry. But it's time for you to grow up.
Click. Big Mama ends the call. Interior trailer, early evening. Big Mama sits holding her phone. Her free hand covers her mouth. She takes a deep breath, wiping the tears from her eyes. She looks to the sky for a moment. Oh God, I hope I did the right thing. She exhales.
Why are you crying?
Big Mama struggles, attempting to put on a brave face.
Oh, nothing. It's nothing.
Was that my mama?
No, honey.
Who was it?
Nobody. Nobody, dear. Just those pesky old telemarketers calling about who knows what.
She clears her throat and gathers herself. She takes in her grandson.
Come here.
She hugs her grandson, drawing him in close.
You know I love you just about more than anything on this planet, don't you?
I know, Big Mama.
How about I put on one of your shows? Would you like that?
They break apart.
Danny the dinosaur?
Sure. Danny the dinosaur.
Yay!
Big Mama rises, dragging her oxygen tank behind her as little Chico follows. Exterior gas station evening. With the phone dangling in the foreground, Jessica sits on the curb, head in hands. She sobs before collecting herself. Interior motel room, evening. The sound of knocking on the door. Carlos answers the door and lets her in.
What? They didn't want you? Cops threatened to arrest you?
She walks past him and goes into the bathroom, ignoring JJ, who stands near the back of the room, obviously shaken.
Carlos, stop it.
He calls after Jessica.
I know what it is. No bus ticket home.
Fucking stop it. What's gotten into you?
JJ struggles to contain her burning hot tears.
Me and her, we're practically family.
Yeah? Then what are we, huh? Fucking answer me. Oh, baby, that bitch.
He points to the bathroom.
That bitch, she gotten in between what me and you have, hadn't she? Don't do this. Don't let it happen. You're my one and true princess. You know that.
With tears running down her face, JJ tries to hold herself together, fails.
Oh, God.
Interior bathroom, evening. The shower runs behind Jessica and she washes her face in the sink. JJ enters. No wig, no facade. She closes the door behind her.
I've really made a mess of this.
Jessica pushes her away, but JJ is insistent. Tears streaming, both women wear the terror of a situation not easily escaped.
Come here. Just let me hold you for a moment.
Jessica relents and rests her head on JJ's bare chest.
I'm so sorry I got you into this. Everything's gonna be okay, you'll see. It's all gonna work out. We just can't cross him. You know that, I know that. We just have to stick together and get through this. You just gotta make things right.
They draw close.
Nothing right here.
We're gonna get out of here, okay?
You were always supposed to have my back.
She begins to break down.
And I had yours when it counted most.
JJ begins to break down.
I made a mess of it.
She stifles a sob.
Like everything in my own goddamn life. Except for one thing.
Jessica looks up at her. What?
You. My forever.
They kiss tenderly. Their nearly matching diamond neck tattoos are visible. A snot bubble bursts out of Jessica's nose. The two laugh at the absurdity and cradle each other's faces in their hands.
I'm gonna get us out of here.
You think so?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I know so.
Interior motel room, evening. Carlos at the bathroom door listens for a beat, then walks away. Interior motel room, late afternoon. The late afternoon sun filters through the curtains. Jessica wakes to the sound of the bathroom door closing. JJ is sleeping. Carlos' side of the bed is empty. Only the impression of his body remains. Jessica gets out of bed and quickly puts on a pair of shorts and her hoodie. She quietly sorts through her duffel bag, then rapidly rifles through it, realizing what she's missing. Purse, gone. She grabs her notebook and flips through it. It's obvious that pages have been torn out. Anything she had written in the book, including Little Chico's drawing, is gone. But, most important, the money she had been saving in the notebook's zippered pocket is missing. She gives out a small cry. The bathroom fan clicks on, drawing her attention. JJ stirs. Jessica bites her fist, stifling her emotions, her frustration as she struggles to hold back her tears. Her body trembles with rage. Her teeth draw blood. She looks toward the bathroom door. Light spills out underneath it. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Her gaze turns to Carlos' side of the bed and his backpack that lies on the floor, just to the side of the bed. JJ opens her eyes only halfway as Jessica is heard crossing the room, grabbing something, running across the room and rearranging things. The camera stays on JJ, pushing in closer and closer throughout Jessica's rummaging business. Jessica crosses the frame quickly, in a flash, then back the other way. JJ is stealthily watching whatever Jessica is up to, which is not seen by the audience. A small knock is heard against the motel room's window. With her body and arms stretched high, Jessica has just finished placing something unseen high up in the closet, the backpack. Her face is turned to the window, acknowledging the knock. JJ wakes from her pretend sleep and sits up. Interior bathroom, late afternoon. Hearing something, Carlos perks his head up. He sits on the john, phone in hand, smoking a cigarette. Interior motel room, late afternoon. As Jessica approaches, there's knocking at the window. Who is it? She wipes tears from her cheeks. She cautiously opens the edge of the curtain and takes a peek. There stands a very frightened Margarita. Looking haunted and hunted, Margarita knocks on the window gently. She glances back in the direction of her own room and, in a panic, mouths, "Help, help, please." A trickle of blood escapes Margarita's nose. Her shirt is ripped. She's been roughed up. Dropping the curtain, Jessica quietly and carefully moves toward the door and opens it. Exterior motel room, late afternoon. With terror in her eyes, Margarita meets her at the door.
They're going to kill me.
Margarita, where are you? Get back here now.
Help me.
Grabbing Margarita by the hand, Jessica pulls her inside the motel room. Interior motel room, late afternoon. Jessica locks the door behind them. JJ rises quickly, not pretending anymore. She's fully awake. The sound of a flush. Jessica sits Margarita, who is shaking uncontrollably, down on the empty bed. Holding her close and rubbing her back, she attempts to soothe her.
It's going to be okay. You're safe here.
Jess, Carlos is gonna freak.
The sound of the bathroom door.
What the fuck?
Carlos, this is my friend Margarita. Margarita? Carlos.
Oh, I know who she is. Why the fuck is she in here?
Don't be scared. It'll be okay.
Big mistake. Big fucking
He
mistake.
quickly moves toward Margarita.
You gotta go. Now.
Grabbing Margarita's arm, Carlos jerks her toward the door. She looks up at him, scared, then at Jessica.
Carlos, she's just a kid.
A kid that belongs to those vatos. Get out.
She begins to whimper, then in rapid Spanish protests as he manhandles her.
Carlos!
Jesus Christ, just having her here is going to get us killed.
He
Go.
drags her to the door as she attempts to escape from his grasp. Jessica runs over to try to help Margarita break free.
Stop! I'll take her
A
back.
backhand stops her in her tracks. Hands on her reddening cheek, she looks up at Carlos with hate-filled eyes.
You're not going anywhere. Oh, you fucked big. You fucked up big this time.
With Margarita struggling against him, Carlos grabs the door handle and violently jerks it open. He starts to throw Margarita out the door, but Alejandra, 16-ish, wearing tight shorts and halter tops, stands in the entryway with a raised hand poised to knock. Margarita and Alejandra stand nose to nose. Like deer paralyzed in headlights, the girls stare at one another. Alejandra's eyes dart to Carlos, then to her side. Without seeing, Carlos knows.
Fuck.
From either side of the doorway, Rolando and Miguel, guns in hand, push their way inside.
Everyone, get down! Get the fuck down!
Miguel locks the door behind him, then snaps the chain into place.
You fucking stealing our girl?
Rolando pistol whips Carlos across the face. Carlos goes down. Blood begins pouring out of both nostrils.
You think you can steal from us like that, pendejo?
Carlos attempts to shield himself.
No. There's been a misunderstanding.
Fuck you with your fucking misunderstanding.
It kicked Carlos's ribs as he pulls himself up to the bed. Oof. Exterior motel, evening. A police squad car pulls into the motel's parking lot. It's the same officers that shook Carlos down earlier. The squad car comes to a stop near the stairs leading up to Carlos's motel room. Officer Anhillo, 30s, Hispanic, drives. His partner, Officer Lindell, 30s, Caucasian, sits in the passenger seat.
This should only take a second.
Interior motel room, evening. Rolando waves his gun as the girls gather on the other side of the room.
Keep your hands where I can see them. Don't get any ideas.
Carlos lies on the bed and Miguel straddles his chest. Carlos's arms are pinned under Miguel's knees. Miguel puts his pistol to Carlos's temple.
Where are you keeping your money? Steal from us? We steal from you.
Tell him it was a mix-up. Please, God, tell him.
Jessica, hands up, looks to Carlos, suddenly steely-eyed, then back to Miguel and Rolando.
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
Miguel shoves his pistol into his waistband at the small of his back and grabs a pillow.
Fucking mix up, man.
Pressing the pillow into Carlos's face, he cuts off his air. Carlos struggles with all his might. Interior police car, evening. Sitting in the driver's seat, Officer Amhio watches as Officer Lindell jogs up the steps. Police radio chatter can be heard, random, unsettling, throughout the scenes featuring the police car. Interior motel room, evening. A muffled scream. Carlos is trying to say something. Miguel relents.
Tell me.
Coming up for air, Carlos breathes heavily.
Over there. It's over there by the side of the bed.
Where?
Carlos moves his head frantically in the direction of where his pack last was, the side of the bed.
There, on the side.
Rolando rushes over for a look.
There is nothing there.
Squatting down, he looks closer.
Nada.
Miguel leans over to see for himself.
You fucking liar.
It was there, I swear to you it was there. On the side of the bed, under maybe, I never let it out of my sight.
Miguel again picks up the pillow, threatening Carlos with it.
Take us for fools. Fuck you. Where is it?
I don't know.
Miguel pushes the pillow down hard, suffocating a struggling Carlos. Interior police car, evening. Officer Amhio, sitting in the driver's seat, window open, taps his left ring finger against the outside of the door to a bored beat. Looking up, he sees his partner walk the second-story breezeway toward Carlos's room. Interior motel room, evening. Carlos struggles, then finally goes limp.
Fuck.
Miguel raises the pillow for a look. Carlos lies there, unmoving, lifeless.
You pushed too hard.
Did I?
He gets off the bed
Fucking faggot.
and approaches Jessica and JJ.
Where's the money?
JJ turns away, scared shitless. Jessica doesn't. In a flash, Miguel wipes out his gun and points it at JJ's head.
You know, don't you?
Panicked, JJ looks toward Jessica. Jessica begins to open her mouth. A knock at the hotel room door. Exterior motel room, evening.
Come the fuck on.
Officer Lindell knocks again. Interior motel room, evening. Rolando looks through the peephole.
Shit.
He quickly turns on the television and turns up the volume before turning his attention to the room. Rolando holds his finger to his mouth as if to say, "Shh."
Quiet, everyone.
Miguel draws close to Rolando.
Who is it?
Policia.
Fuck.
He throws the bed cover over Carlos's body. Unnoticed, one foot barely sticks out, slightly uncovered. Rolando motions frantically to the back of the motel room.
Bathroom. Go.
The vatos round everyone up and push them into the bathroom.
Come on.
Harry, wait. I need you to get rid of him. Wait until we're all inside.
Exterior motel room, evening. Impatiently, Officer Lindell knocks again.
Come on, what's taking so long? Open up, police!
Alejandro opens up the door. Interior police car, evening. Leaning out the car window at an odd angle, Officer Amhio sees the door open. From the parking lot, he can see the young girl in the doorway. What the fuck? Interior motel room, evening. Alejandro stares. Lindell wears a skeptical look.
Hola,
Hola.
They look at one another for a moment.
can I come in?
¿Qué?
Habla English?
Nada, señor.
She begins to close the door, but he stops her.
¿Dónde Carlos?
Carlos, no Carlos.
No, Carlos.
Sí, no Carlos.
Officer Lindo pushes in for a look around the room, drawing the chain taut.
I want you to unlatch the door, the chain. Abierto. Or I arrest you. Cárcel. Comprende?
Scared, she looks at him, unblinking, and undoes the chain. He walks into the dark room and draws out his black metal flashlight. Interior police car, evening. Officer Amhio watches as his partner enters the room. The door closes. More random police radio chatter. Tap, tap, tap. The metal ring against the metal of the car door. Interior bathroom, evening. Everyone is squeezed in. JJ sits on the floor with Miguel next to her. Miguel has his gun pointed at her head. Rolando leans with his ear to the door. Beads of sweat trickle down his temple. Interior motel room, evening. With his flashlight turned on, Officer Lindell examines the room. It's a mess. Looking over at the bed, he sees Carlos's covered body, the foot barely sticking out from under the blanket.
Hey, buddy. A deal's a deal. Time to get up.
No response. The room is too still. He glances nervously toward the bathroom door, closed. He looks toward Alejandra as he walks cautiously closer to the bed.
Who's in the bathroom?
In the bathroom? I don't know.
She inches toward the motel room's front door. Something is off. Turning to the television blaring, he turns it off as he pulls out his firearm.
Stay put.
He takes a step toward the bed. Interior bathroom, evening. Wide-eyed, Rolando listens intently. Everyone huddles together. JJ gives a small cry. Miguel, wide-eyed with alarm, presses the gun into her temple. She buries her face in her hands. Cut to interior police car evening. Tap, tap, tap. The radio barks to life.
Units in the vicinity of 93rd and Pecos. Possible robbery.
Cut to interior motel room evening.
Hey, you wake up!
Approaching the foot of the bed, he cautiously reaches toward Carlos's foot when his radio barks to life. Lyndall jumps.
Lyndall, just got a call. Let's get out of here.
He looks to Alejandra, then back to the covered figure on the bed. Keeping his gun on the body, he considers his options. Then he motions to Alejandra.
Wake him up!
Lyndall, you copy?
Lyndall reaches for his radio.
Copy. Hey, I'm not fucking around anymore. Get up!
A long beat as the tension throughout the space builds. Officer Lyndall presses down on his radio but doesn't say anything. Interior police car evening, radio static. Officer Amhio waits for Officer Lyndall to say something. Interior motel room evening. Officer Lyndall releases the radio button and turns his gun toward the bathroom door.
Go open the bathroom door. I said, now. Go!
Alejandra becomes upset.
No, senor. Nobody there. No, senor.
Now.
Standing in the corner, holding herself tight, she's crying.
No, 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 senor. Nobody there.
It crackles. The radio again comes to life.
Lyndall, you there, buddy?
Keeping his gun trained on the door, Officer Lyndall grabs the bathroom doorknob with his free hand and begins to open the door when bam, bam, bam. The cheap door splinters, leaving gaping holes in the center, body height, as Rolando shoots Lyndall through the door. Lyndall falls back onto the bed, dead, at an angle near Carlos's legs, staining the bed with his blood. Alejandra shrieks. Cut to interior police car evening. Hearing shots fired.
Oh, shit.
Clutching the radio, Amhio yells into the mic.
Lyndall, come in. Repeat, come in. What's going on up there?
He jumps out of the patrol car and rushes to the motel steps.
Lyndall, come in.
Cut to interior motel room evening. Miguel stands outside the bathroom.
You idiot! You shot a fucking pig! We fucked!
Rolando stands at the front window with the curtain pulled aside. He peeks down at the parking lot.
Where's the other one? I don't see the other one.
We've got to go.
In the background, Officer Lyndall's radio can be heard.
Possible officer down. Repeat, possible officer down. Need backup. Pioneer Inn, 98th and Leland. Copy?
Copy. Backup on the way.
Cut to interior bathroom evening. JJ, Jessica, and Margarita crouch in the bathtub.
What about the girls?
Fuck the girls.
Get ready to move.
She starts to rise as JJ reaches out to her.
Stay back.
I'm not going back. You hear me?
She returns her attention to the doorway.
Get ready.
Cut to exterior motel room evening. Miguel peeks out of the doorway toward the parking lot, then toward the stairs.
Coast is clear. Hurry.
Rolando follows him out the door.
Stop. Hands up.
The sound of Miguel and Rolando exchanging gunfire with Officer Amhio continues intermittently into the next scene. Interior motel room evening. A lull in the gunfire. The sound of sirens rises in the distance.
Miguel? Miguel? Shit! You're mad now! Shit! You're hit! Fucking cop!
Jessica peeks around the corner of the bathroom doorway. Alejandro remains curled up in the corner of the hotel room opposite the front door. Other than her, the coast is clear. Jessica turns back to JJ.
Come on.
Stepping over Officer Lyndall's body, Jessica rushes to the closet with JJ following. Gunfire from Rolando erupts again outside the room. JJ ducks behind the bed. Reaching up, she grabs Carlos's bag from where she'd hidden it. Officer Amhio returns gunfire. Interior motel room evening. Flinching at the sound of the gunshots, Jessica pulls the backpack down from the closet.
JJ, follow me.
A figure fills the doorway to the motel room behind Jessica.
You bitch!
Jessica ducks down to the floor at the sound of his voice. Bam, bam, bam! Sheetrock explodes behind Jessica as Rolando fires at her. JJ screams as she crouches down. Interior bathroom evening. Screaming, Margarita crouches in the bathroom behind her. Bam, bam! Interior motel room evening. Rolando lies sprawled just outside the hotel room doorway, his legs keeping the door open. He's dead. Quiet. In front of the closet, a hand reaches up onto the bed. With some effort, Jessica pulls herself up.
JJ.
JJ runs to Jessica. Jessica's bleeding. She's been shot.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Hold on, we're both gonna make it. I may have to drop and dash you at the emergency room, but we're both gonna make it.
Here, take this.
She holds the backpack out to her friend.
You're coming with me.
JJ puts her arm around Jessica.
They'll get both of us. You know I'm right. You go.
Jess.
Go! Just do me one favor. Take care of Chico, will you?
No, you're gonna make it.
No. Not enough time. You should know something about him before you go. You should know. He's yours.
A moment is shared between the two of them, brief but meaningful.
I know. Shh, I know. I've always known.
Through the pain, Jessica smiles. JJ meaningfully returns it. Tenderly and with compassion, she replies,
I'll look out for ours. I promise. I'll make it right. Just come with me.
JJ puts her arm under Jessica's shoulder, aiding her as they hobble to the motel room door. The sound of sirens is louder.
Take this.
She shoves the backpack into JJ's stomach.
Don't be stupid. If I make it, I make it. Go before it's too late.
JJ looks to the door furtively.
Will you stop with that?
Go! But know one thing and don't forget it.
Leaning into JJ's shoulder so that she can whisper in her ear, Jessica mouths the words, I love you. JJ continues to drive them forward.
Gonna make it. Gonna make it.
Jessica has suddenly grown heavy on her arm. JJ tries to keep her up, but Jessica has grown too heavy. She slides to the floor, lifeless. JJ tries to pick her body up, to no avail.
No. No. Jess, no.
She hovers over her friend's body as burning tears fill her eyes.
Jess.
The moment is broken by.
Anyone in there? Come out with your hands up.
JJ pauses, looking down at her friend for a moment.
I love you too.
A beat. She makes her decision. Grabbing the backpack, she runs through the motel room door. Cut to exterior motel room evening. Turning the corner, gun raised in both hands, Officer Armillo cautiously approaches Miguel's body. JJ runs out of the hotel room, jumping over Rolando's body. She hurries for the back of the hotel.
Halt! Stop where you are!
Officer Armillo moves quickly but cautiously after her. As he approaches the motel room door, Alejandra runs out of the hotel room, arms raised.
Socorro!
She blocks his path, delaying him. Behind Alejandra, Officer Armillo catches a glimpse of JJ's head disappearing as she rushes down the steps. Exterior Pioneer Inn, back steps, evening. JJ runs, nearly floating, down the steps.
I said stop! Alto!
Exterior Pioneer Inn, ground floor, evening. A distinctive bass line is heard. It's the song that a young JJ and Jessica danced to during the film's opening, slowly rising. Sirens grow louder and more numerous. Footsteps and jangling keys are heard as the officer charges down the stairs. JJ has just come down. Rounding the corner, JJ runs face to face into the cleaning lady. Exterior Pioneer Inn, evening. At the back of the motel, the cleaning lady stands at her cart. As framed, the boombox sits on top, playing Jessica and JJ's song. The cleaning lady is seen from only the shoulders down. Officer Armillo comes sprinting around the corner.
Stop! Alto!
The cleaning lady turns to face Officer Armillo, hands raised. He approaches her. Again, the cart fills most of the static frame. The cleaning lady and Officer Armillo are framed from the shoulders down only.
Hello. Hold on. You haven't seen a woman running by, have you?
Nada, senor. I see nothing. Nobody.
Officer Armillo looks around, frustrated.
You should take cover in a safe place.
As Officer Armillo runs off, the cleaning lady's hand reaches down to straighten out the curtain that covers the bottom of her cart. Just barely visible under the curtain are the heels of JJ's shoes and her rear end. The cleaning lady pushes the cart, getting smaller and smaller in the frame until she disappears with her cart, turning into a supply closet. The song plays on. Fade to black. A dog barks. Geese honk in the distance. Fade in. Exterior trailer morning. The season has changed. The leaves of the trees surrounding the trailer reflect the colors of autumn. Steam wafts from the trailer's roof. The crunching of gravel is heard. A used sedan, modest but nice, enters and parks in front of the trailer. The curtains pull back as Lil Chico looks out the window. One eye is covered with a cotton bandage. He wears glasses with clipped lenses. There's movement inside the car for a moment or two before JJ steps out of the car carrying white plastic grocery bags. Some contain a few basics, bread, ketchup, OJ, and the like. Her other hand holds a plastic bag containing styrofoam takeout containers from a local diner. She wears the uniform of a chain hotel's cleaning staff. Her hair is pulled neatly into a ponytail. A gold name tag is imprinted with JJ. On JJ's neck, a third diamond, freshly tattooed. JJ waves to Lil Chico. The curtains fall back as he disappears from view. JJ hops up the steps and opens the door.
About time you got around to come back. I was about ready to boil one of these here couch cushions for supper.
As JJ enters, she sets the groceries down and picks up Lil Chico, closing the door behind her. Interior trailer morning. With Lil Chico on her lap, JJ takes a seat in Big Mama's chair. Holding him to her chest, JJ closes her eyes and rests. Little Chico snuggles in close. Everything is quiet and at peace. Mostly happy, Big Mama watches them, fighting back a rush of emotion. JJ opens her eyes at the sound of a sniffle or two. Concerned, she starts to rise. Not making eye contact, Big Mama waves her off as she moves to put away the groceries.
It's okay. Don't get up. You just sit there, holding him.
You sure?
Leave it with me.
JJ watches Big Mama for a moment or two. The sound of rustling and movement as Big Mama attends to her task. Assured that Big Mama is okay, JJ reclines back, pulling little Chico in close as she closes her eyes. Big Mama turns away from them, her voice cracking.
You do enough.
She glances over her shoulder at JJ, grateful. Exterior trailer, morning. The trailer sits at rest in the morning light as steam continues to gently waft from the trailer's roof.
Welcome home.
Fades black.